I think the internet cut out there. So we're just resuming our half kneeling position. We just got through our pelvic tilts, and now we're going to actually tilt backwards so that everything is tucked, and then slowly let our hips shift forward, but maintaining that tuck at all times until you feel a big pull through the front of the leg. And then we're going to push ourselves back, reset, tuck, glide forward, push ourselves back, pelvic reset, slide forward, that's 3. Untuck, tuck, slide forward, that's 4. And last one, untuck, tuck, slide forward, that's 5. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides. Again, holding on to something if you need a little bit of balance help. So we're going to do our tilts first, set of 8. So untucking and tucking. That's 3. Breathe in, breathe out as you tuck. You'll likely find that one side feels a lot more restricted. That's okay. Got 2 left. Excellent. And then keeping that tuck, we're going to let ourselves glide forward. 5 times, resetting each time. Tuck, glide forward. Untuck, tuck, glide forward. Got one more. Awesome. So from here, we're going to come onto our side, into a side lying position. So again, you're going to need your pillow for this one. So I'll try to get as much as myself in the screen as I can, but we're going to be lying on our side. Knees are stacked, shoulders are one on top of another. So we're actually going to do hip carves from this position. So we're bringing the knee to the chest, opening it up to the ceiling, and then tracing it behind. Whole body is nice and tight. Knee to chest, open up to the ceiling, rotate at the hip joint to send the heel back. We're going to do 3 forwards, 3 backwards. If you're cramping with this one, it's quite typical. Try and breathe through it. So once we get to our starting point, we're going to reverse. So make sure the heel is pinched to the bum, and then you're going to send your heel straight back, hip extension. Make sure you're not twisting, and then the leg comes up and over like you're clearing a hurdle. Back to your starting position. Sweeping through, rep number 2, hip extension, then up and over, feeling it in those little hip muscles. And then we've got one last one. Hip extension, coming up and over, squeezing with all your might, feel it deep in that hip. Good. So we're going to switch sides. Okay, so again, make sure your hips are stacked, knees are on top of one another, shoulders are on top of one another. Whole body is nice and tight and squeezed. That knee comes to the chest. Open it up to the ceiling, and then we're corkscrewing at the hip joint to send the heel back. Sweeping through for rep number 2, knee to chest. Open the knee up towards the ceiling, and then we're corkscrewing at the hip, maintaining tension, sending the heel backwards. Good, I've forgotten where we're at, so I think this is 3. Think about that hip joint as you're rotating it. Good, and then we're gonna go in our reverse direction. So pinch the heel to the bum, and then the leg goes straight back, and then up and over, making sure we're not twisting through the torso. Sweeping through for rep number 2, hip extension, then coming slow and controlled, up and over. Good, last one, maintain tension through that top hip, straight hip extension, and then we're coming up and over. Good, excellent. So from there, we're gonna move into some swivel hips, just because today has seemed to be more of a hip focus. So if you want, you can use your pillow to prop your bum up. It makes it a little bit easier because this is quite a demanding position. So in a bear sit, with your hands behind you, if that's too easy, you can challenge yourself with your hands in front. You are going to bring both knees towards the ground. Then that back knee peels open and the other leg follows when it has to. So we're not using our momentum, we're strictly engaging the hips to peel open, and then the other one follows. Good, peel that back leg open, other one follows. So like I said, if you want a bit of a challenge, you can remove your hands from behind, peel open and close, peel open. So your chest is always facing forward. We're not allowing ourselves to rotate with each rep. Good, so this time we're gonna allow our chest to rotate over our front thigh. So with a nice tall spine here, we're gonna hinge forward a tad, and then I want you to try and lift your back leg. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm trying to lift this leg a couple inches off the ground, then put it back down. Then lift, then put it back down. You may need to let yourself hinge a little bit further forward in order to lift that back leg. So we're gonna do 3 more lifts, feeling it deep in the hip joint. Good. Then we're peeling that back leg open to transition to our other side, and we're gonna do it on the other side. So again, angling over that front thigh, belly button over thigh, nice tall spine. We're lifting that back foot, bringing it back down, rotating at the hip to lift that back foot, bring it back down. We're doing a set of 5, 3, 4, and 5. Good, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually grab the foot if you can. And I want you to try and lift it up. So see how much further I can lift it, then I can actively move it into this range. So I should, in theory, be able to actively lift my foot this far off the ground. But that's why we work on active mobility. So just kind of get a feel for end range, a couple little bounces, feeling it in the hip joint, and then you're gonna put it back down. We're gonna transition to the other side because I forgot to do it over there. And you're gonna take a hold of your back ankle and lift that leg up. Couple little bounces in your end range. If you can't get anywhere near here, that's fine. Just move it as far as you can.